Hey, I'm gonna show off, talk through the kind of different features of boards. We're gonna get into whole cloth in like subsequent episodes, but boards. And I'll start by prefacing and saying like everything's gonna change, but you know, it'll move around. There'll be different functionality, but like what I'm showing you probably makes sense to do to run through, and then as it changes, you'll remember. Anyway, so this is a new board, and you can give it a name. You can give it whatever name you want, but also, I think my new board, and that's handy. Um, you can do the most obvious thing, which is, type a prompt, and it generates an image, and it takes a little while. So, right, so something amazing. Yes, and truly, it's amazing. Um, and So now, yeah, you can do that. That's great. Uh, let's see. Another thing you can do, there's the gear and there's some functionality over here. So let's see what we got. Upload media. So upload media doesn't do exactly what you think, but if you click it, then um, you can find files and you can bring them and then they appear. And that's useful. Why would that be useful? It's useful because you can create images from scratch, but you can also modify images. So let's say that we wanted to modify this image. Well, make the fire green. So what we would do is we would add this image to the prompt, and we do that with the plus. So we hit plus, and now you can see in the shelf here, we can add lots of things to the shelf. We can take things away from the shelf, but the shelf is where it says whatever I do now is going to take not just my prompt, but also the image. So if I say, make the fire green, say something like that, and now it goes off, and hopefully it'll do something reasonable. And, it takes a minute. There we go. So now, yeah, the fire's green. So that's the thing. And then if you think like, oh, might not get it right the first time, like I don't love that one because the fire's kind of smeared and the person is different, whatever. I can give it a couple shots. So I could add this to the prompt and then I could say, give me like 3 shots at that. And then, yeah, and you get the idea. But I'm going to show you another thing, which is rather than having to retype make the fire green, because sometimes, maybe you did a long prompt, what you can do is you can edit this one. So if you just want to take it, it's like this didn't come out how I want to try it again. What I can do is I can hit the little pencil, and what it does is it brings back the prompt that you use, so you can, modify it or just run it back. And then it also brings back what the things were that were in the shelf. So it's going to take that same, original fire and it's going to try it again. And maybe this time I'm going to give it 3 tries. So now I do that and like it pops away and it's going to do 3 things. And they all kind of come back and now it's like, yeah, these ones are better. I think I like this one a lot. This one's still pending. Not sure why it's taken so long. You can hit the pending button if you want to see if maybe it finished, but um, yeah, so eventually it finishes and like maybe I like this one or whatever. Okay, so we're working our way through the different commands. So the different commands here, this one is just look at it big, right? So if I want to see it close up, I can do that. This one is to download it. So, right, I just downloaded it. This one is to add it to the prompt, which we've already seen how that works. This one is to edit it. So yeah, just kind of takes that same one and runs it back so you can try it again. This is to delete the image. So like of these 4, maybe I only want to keep one. So I'll just keep, they're kind of the same, but anyway. And then this one is to set as the poster image. So that's kind of handy because then when you go back to your board, this is like you've set it as the poster. So when you're looking at all your boards, and I have a bunch of boards and most of them don't have posters, but this one does. So yeah. Okay, so we got all the commands that you can do on the image itself. And then we got the number of takes. And, I lose track a lot. What I do is sometimes I leave it too high and then eventually I remember because it creates three new images. Obviously, this is aspect ratio. So if I want to take something and make it landscape. Like maybe I want to, I meant to make that green fire be portrait. So it's on a phone. Then I can just run that one back and like change like that and hit that. And okay, so now I'm going to play with some more stuff. If you're trying for a particular shot, like what you might do, like say you're trying to develop a character. And so you go and you find a character. Maybe you find a character on the web and you upload it, or maybe you take a picture. Oh yeah, there's something else I forgot, which is, maybe it's one of my coworkers. So I do LinkedIn and yeah, sure. So this is my profile picture on LinkedIn. Let me just snap that guy. And I can get it to the clipboard. I don't know how you do that on Windows. You're probably a Windows user, but I'm sure there's a way. And now if I just paste it, again, it doesn't do exactly what you want, but what it does is it puts it on the board. So now I'm on the board. Okay, so now I want to kind of develop this character and see if I can make him into something else. So I'm going to add him to the prompt. And then I want to, first of all, I want like a full body shot. So I can go to my presets. And the presets, there's lots and lots of presets. These ones down at the bottoms are kind of stupid. Yeah, but the ones at the top are kind of useful, like neutral standing pose, relaxed, arms outside, hands on hips, confident or sassy. Let's go sassy. So I'm going to hit that, and now it's going to generate that. And yeah, sure enough, it's sassy, sassy AF. But like maybe that's not quite what I was looking for. Let's run that back because I would not wear a shirt like that. Let's wearing a polo jersey, something like that. I don't know. And sure, now I'm wearing a polo long sleeve jersey. Also, probably want typically for people, I find portraits, not portrait, but square. Square's best because it fills the whole space. Anyway, okay. And then like last thing is sometimes flux is good, but it doesn't always nail it. And if you want to bring out the big guns, what you can do is, let's say I want someone who looks like, if I want to bring out the big guns, I can pick a different model. And right now there's only one model. Eventually there'll be a lot of models, but this GPT image one, this is the OpenAI model. And this thing is slow, it's expensive, and it's really good. So we'll just run that one, and I'm going to pause the video because it takes a long time. So yeah, this one, I don't know that looks like me. It actually kind of changed it a lot. Maybe I'm actually going to go with this one. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to have me saying some dialogue, like, just some stuff. So we're done with images. I've shown you all the image functionality, right? You mastered it all. Now we're going to try something else. We're going to make some audio. And for the audio, we changed that to audio, and now the settings have changed. You can still upload media. Upload media does exactly the same thing as it did before. You can upload an audio, you can upload a video, you can upload whatever. But we're not going to upload anything right now. We're going to pick a voice, and there's a lot of voices. And let's go with Giovanni. Well, let's see what
The ballot
Giovanni
is stronger than the bullet.
I don't know if you heard that. I hope you heard it. It sounds vaguely Italian. Um, so that's Giovanni, and there's some presets. Welcome to our website. This is attached. Yeah, that quick brown fox. Okay, so we do that, and this doesn't take very long. So now we have
The quick
audio,
brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
and hopefully you heard that, Giovanni. And so what we're going to do is now we have the audio, we need a video. And so what we do is we take Sassy Me. Actually, this one looks a little more Italian, so we'll go with this one. We're going to add him to the prompt, and this time we don't. We're going to create a video, and so for this video, wait, I think we want this guy for the prompt. Yeah, and maybe zoom in slightly. He is gesturing, and okay, so this audio is 3 seconds, and that's important because we don't want to make the video longer than it needs to be. You have two choices, 5 seconds or 10 seconds. Since the audio is 3 seconds, I'm going to make a 5 second video, which is about 30 cents, I think. That's what I charge. And so now zoom in slightly, he's gesturing. So what you typically want to say is, something that the person is doing, but really good to not try and get too complicated. It's not as good at doing stuff. And so then keep it simple. He's gesturing, right? And so now we're going to start cranking on that video. And while we're waiting for the video, I'm going to show you one more thing I forgot to show you, which is if you want to, let's say we want to give him kind of a cool background. Let's say like a war-torn cityscape. And that's not what we're going to do. This is an image. So war-torn cityscape. So when I switch back to image, you see this little magic thing there. Well, you remember in the competitions, when you type a prompt, we interpret that prompt. And then you never saw what we interpreted as the prompt and what we actually sent to the image generator, but now you do. So what you can do if you wish, if you can type your prompt by hand, you can keep it doing it that way, or you can hit the little make magic happen button, and it takes whatever you type and it turns it into something that maybe is a little more evocative and will do better for the and so you see it's a dilapidated, cumberland, blah, 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 blah. And I think you'll see for yourself if you create a video, an image from that. All right, so that's cool. I created kind of a sketch of a thing. And again, if I want to see what that prompt was, maybe I edit it, and it's like, what does it say there? Desolate, desaturated hues, use charcoal medium. Maybe we could skip the charcoal medium and use like I don't know, pencil sketch. Make it more in keeping with so unlike the competitions where you never really could see the prompt, and we allow you to actually edit the super prompt that we give you. So let's try a pencil sketch, because this is kind of pencil sketchy. And while we're doing all that, the video completed. So while this is going on, I'm going to play the video, and he talks. He does that sometimes, but he also gestures, right? So it's okay that he's talking, I think. For what we're going to do, the words he's mouthing don't correspond to anything. Well, pencil sketch wasn't really any better. Yeah. Anyway, we'll go with that. So maybe what we want to try and do is put him in the background. So here's where things get a little funky. And we're just going to, actually, no, we already created the video, so never mind. I'll show you putting in the background. We should have put him into the background before we created the video, but the final step, we want to create him really saying the words.
The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
Jumps over the lazy dog. Okay, so for this, we're going to pick lip sync. Okay, and it needs a video and it needs an audio. So if we go and add the video, it puts it into the video space, and we add the audio, puts it over here. If we try and add other things, it's like you can't add images because it needs just a video and an audio, and it tells us, hey, everything's ready. Okay, so, and then go. And, hopefully this will work. Usually for front facing shots where you can see his mouth clearly, it tends to work pretty well. I'm going to pause it while we do that. Actually, I'll do something else instead. So maybe I want to try and this is where things get a little tricky and fiddly. I want to try and put him into this war-torn background. So what I'll do is I'll switch back to image. And the thing is, you can put him into the image, into the shelf, right? Now we're going to work with this thing. We can put other things into the shelf too. We can actually put several things into the shelf. I've never tried more than two, but maybe I bet it could work. And then you have to give it a prompt that it's very fiddly, but I think it's like the first image is the background. The second image is the foreground person. And that's what I think I've used successfully in the past, so we'll try that. Yeah, it didn't get it at all. So that's too bad. Let's see if we can edit that. Has a person, I don't know, has a person. Put the person in the foreground, in the background, into the background image. And like, we don't really know, so let's try. And I'd love to use GPT for this because it's so reliable, but oh, right. GPT doesn't work with two images, so that actually should, I'm going to switch back to Flux Pro. And actually, I'm just going to run that same image back that I had before. And this time I'm going to do it as Flux Pro and then that. And meantime, our lip sync video, ooh, that didn't work. Let's try that again. No. Oh, okay. Meanwhile, our lip sync is done, so let's play
The
that.
quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
Ooh, I love how he gestures in time with the word jumps.
The
Yeah,
quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
yeah. So there you go. Yeah, so that was actually a bug, and I went and fixed the bug, but it takes a long time to deploy. It's going to take another 10 minutes or so. But basically, I'll just recap. Oh, there's one more thing I want to show you is, as you go through and you create these boards, then, you'll have a bunch of different boards, and I have a bunch of boards, right? And if you ever want to take a board. Oh, and by the way, if you want to edit it, you can ask it to make a name for you based on whatever. Yeah. Ruined cityscapes and quirky poses. Sure. Sounds about right. Um, there's this thing called the transfer portal. So if you have a board that has some image that you want to use as a reference and build off of here, you go to this transfer portal. And I'm going to move this little to it because over here it's always in the way. And you open the transfer portal and you can see all your other boards. And I have a lot of boards because I developed that whole thing with the whole thing with the thing. But like, let's see, the ensign is in here somewhere. There's the ensign you might recognize. Yeah. The ensign is someone you might recognize. We'll just pop him in there and we can play with him. And so you select the ones you want, they get the little yellow highlight, you say send, and now they all appear over here in this one. And so you can riff on them some more. Yeah. All right. So, and I'm just going to add on to the end of this video because I finally got the thing deployed that has the fix. So I wanted to show you, this is very crucial, is I'm going to try and like blend. These are videos, so we're not going to use that. I'm going to try and blend a character with the background. And we didn't succeed the first time because we used GPT image one, which it doesn't work for, but Flux can do it now that I fixed the bug that I introduced earlier today. So let's take the image and we'll add it to the prompt, and then we'll add the person to the prompt. And again, I think this generally works. It's the first image is the background. The second image is the foreground person, and I'm going to make sure that it is Flux Pro, and maybe I'll give it 2 cracks at that, just because it's a little fiddly. So yeah, I mean, it kind of worked. I'll say like you probably want to match up the lighting a little better, and I have a feeling if you fiddle these enough, you can get that to work. But like now you could imagine using that as the video instead, and like that. So yeah, that's what I got.